from Dan to Beersheba. So now, if you understand that if Jerusalem was a place that name was to be called upon, everybody, every Shabbat, they coming, of course, from Gad over the Jordan River, from Naphtali in the north to where Benjamin was, where Jerusalem was, each and every single Shabbat. So the burnt offerings that was done upon the Shabbat day in Numbers the 28th chapter would have been done by the Levites that already had the offerings available for the people who continuously brought them from the tribes anyway. You go in your own time in Numbers the 18th chapter, it says any holy or hallowed thing the children of Israel set apart is for the Levites. So when the Levites dealt with the particular aspect, that always was being brought to them from all the people all the time. You understand? So you wouldn't wait to Shabbat, come from the land of Gad or Manasseh on the east side of the Jordan. You understand? Come over to where Jerusalem was and bring the offering and Shabbat. No, but because people want to not keep the Shabbat, not have a sacred time, and so forth and so on, because of Nashim, for women, and for the Kesef, for the money, that's why they will sit there and try to come up with these little holes to try to sit there and say that they don't want to keep the commandments or statutes of the Most High God. Do you realize keeping the Shabbat will sit there, and if our people did it, there'll be a lot more brothers alive? It is not trying to be disrespectful or funny or anything of that sort. A lot of brothers are smoked on the Shabbat. Keeping it 100. That is the truth. My daughter's mother told me about the wild parties in the 80s, in the 90s, somebody getting stabbed up and everything like that once it came down to the parties on Friday night. That's not made up. Ah, no, we wasn't scared. We be younger than. You don't remember the 70s, but can I believe it? I said it. Can. So, once again, the mindset that says in teaching that we cannot keep the Shabbat is a very wicked mindset. You understand? Right. We're going to go over a couple more things concerning this, and then close out. I want to go Bevak Shah to sneak out. Let's go to Devarim or Deuteronomy 16 verse 9. Thank you.
"7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Lord thy God for the tribute of a freewill offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Lord thy God, according as the Lord thy God hath blessed thee."
Okay, so that Chief Shama, can you go to verse 1? That's right.
Deuteronomy 16 verse 1.
Okay, Deuteronomy 16 verse 1.
"Observe the month of Abib, and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night."
When did Israel leave Egypt? By night, right? So now, stop right there, brother. And if you can go to Jeremiah chapter 31. Because see, there's another teaching. We want to speak on the aspect of the observance and the timing that we're keeping. We don't have to keep Shabbat until we look in the sky and see the sun. For Friday night, we should do anything we want. That's another obtuse and weird teaching in the house of Israel. You understand? So if we see that Israel left Egypt at night, let's see what it says in Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31. So we can explain what Yom is, what Erev is, what Lilac is, and what Shekarit is, and what Zaharayim is.
"Behold, the days come, saith the Lord,
right,
and I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel,
right,
and with the house of Judah,
right,
not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord.
In the day that I brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt." So in Deuteronomy 16, it says Israel left Egypt at night. Now in Jeremiah, it says in the day that I took them to bring them out. So we have to understand what a day is in the understanding of Israel. The word for day in Hebrew is the word yom. All right. So in the day that thou eatest this, thou shalt surely die, doesn't exactly mean that it wouldn't happen at the nighttime. When it says 6 days that shall labor and do all thy work, doesn't mean you're sinning if you have a nighttime job. All right, so this is something we want to point out for edification and understanding purposes. So Yom means day, and let's see with that, you can get me into the Hebrew, brother? Okay, but in Devarim or Deuteronomy 10:10, I'm going to ask you to read the English, and I'm going to ask you to read the Hebrew. And let's see what is the Hebrew. We'll try to emphasize this point out. Deuteronomy, okay, 10:10. Hold
on. Thank you. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights.
So he was there on the mount 40 days and 40 nights, right? Some sheep.
And the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Lord would not destroy thee. And the 10 minutes. I'm going to 10 Hebrew.
King. Devarim 10:10. Now in the Hebrew, Babakosha.
Wa'anoki amati.
Wa'anoki amati, and I, even I stood. Some sheep.
Bahar Kayamin, Harishonim.
Bahar, meaning in the mount, right? Some sheep.
Harishonim, Arbaim, Yom, Arbaim, Laila.
Now, stop right there, my brother. You read Kayamin Harishonim, right? Ka means like or as. Yamim means days, or, now read the English. I stayed in the mount, right? The first time. So was the word Yamim translated as the word time or the word days? Because if we're only going to say that the word Yom, pluralizes Yamim, only means day, we will read Deuteronomy 10:10 as such. And I stayed in the mount according to the first days, 40 days and 40 nights. So therefore, Yom pluralizes Yamim has to mean more than just day. Because as the brother just read, Ka, meaning as, Yamim, Harishoni, like the first time. Arba'im Yom, 40 days, but Arba'im Laila. So therefore, the understanding in Israel for the word Yom doesn't only mean the day like that you see there, but it also means time. So when you read about Ve'et HaShabbat, Ve'et Yom HaShabbat, this is the day of the Sabbath, it is also saying this is the time of the Sabbath. So if Bereshit or Genesis says, Wahi Erev, and it was evening, Wahi Boquir, and it was morning, one day, if the evening, and I break this down to the best of my ability, the understanding of when evening is. If you have a DJ set, they have a thing called crossfading. That's when you go from one side to the next side. So when you're in the center, when you're mixing it or blending together, that is the evening out. So what happens after afternoon, you get Erev, which is the evening part. That is the beginning of the Shabbat. When the 6th day ends out and the 7th day comes in at the same exact time. So as one ends out, the other comes in. But when you're thinking of Nashim and Kesef, you're not thinking Erev. You're thinking, I'm getting paid. You're thinking, we're going out to 42nd Street. And I'm speaking like that because that's how it was with me and my daughter's mother. Because I thought I could flip her shoe. Wrong. That ain't what happened. So I know why brothers do that. Why brothers teach that. You understand? So now, getting back, and we're going to close out soon with this. I'm going to ask the brother to go Babak to Exodus chapter 13. Exodus chapter 13, verse 1. Hold on.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage, For by strength of hand, the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten.
Okay. All of the firstborn. Now, when the Most High delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt, the firstborn of every Israelite home was dedicated to become the priest or the Kohen. All right. Instead of that, as time went on in the wilderness, the Most High took the tribe of Levi, and out of the tribe of Levi, he took the house of Aaron. Now, out of the house of Aaron, you had 4 divisions. You had Colts, you had Itamar, Eleazar, Nadab, and Abihu. Nadab and Abihu passed away without having children. So you had Eleazar and Itamar. And now when you read in Ezekiel about Zadok, he comes out of the line of Eleazar the priest. So there were certain divisions that the Most High already had set up in order. So everything was not just one bunched up. I feel like doing this in Israel. It may sound harsh. There was a dictatorship.
Yes.
You did not vote who your priest was going to be.
No.
You did not vote who was going to wind up being the leader of this or that. And when a position was given, anytime a person wiggled their way out, it says, "Why you call it Elohim Moshe," and the angel of the Most High was kindled against Moses. Because now you're talking about saying who you were saying, I'm slow with speech. No, you're going to do this. You're going to bring the people here. This is in order. This is not up for discussion.
No election.
There was no discussion and debating and how do you feel once it came down to the position that the Most High is giving you. What is that saying? Is that just like in the case when Chief and others are speaking about Jonah being a Hebrew, I'm going to go over to Tarshish. No, I'm going to have you eat it up for the moment, and you're going to go back to the position I told you. Right. So when the Most High already has a pattern set for you, wriggling out of it is going to cause you to get hurt in the process.
Well, good. Thank you, brother.
This is what you don't do.
Jump down.
Now,
jumping down. Don't you wiggle yourself out of it. Do it. Do the command and do the law. Okay, jump down.
My brother, I might ask you to read one more part. We have the next man to come up to speak. That's in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 20. About the shop. Okay. This is another thing to speak on concerning the aspect that people speak on about the Shabbat and so forth and so on. That's the prepared a lesson in regards to that, because that's a controversial subject for some people. But at the end of the day, all of the people I've spoken to about it, and it's not to be holy, none of them ever said it was not based upon the kesed, the money, and the nashim, the woman. The woman that doesn't probably know that you keep Shabbat. Right. The woman that's never going to ask why you have those strings hanging from your shirt. Because you can't do that with her in comfort on Friday night at the movie theater. Tamshi, we in Jeremiah 33, verse 20. Hold on.
Thus saith the Lord, if ye can break my covenant of the day, and my covenant of the night,
right,
that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant,
right,
that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers, as the host of heaven cannot be numbered,
right,
neither the sand of the sea measured,
right,
so will I multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me.
Go to verse 25.
Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of this seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay, so let's understand that the Most High, before I close out, in Jeremiah spoke about his covenant of the day and his covenant of the night. His covenant that he created with the day and night and the ordinances doesn't involve us as humans. Doesn't involve us as Hebrews. Doesn't involve us as the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So the argument given was, well, if his covenant is with the day and his covenant with the night, that means if it says Shabbat day, that means it cannot be observed from Friday evening. That's not accurate, because it's his covenant with the day and the night. You're not involved in that covenant with the day and the night. Your covenant is in Exodus chapter 19. Babak Hushai. Exodus 19, verse 5. Because see, before Israel was created, the Most High already had his covenant already made with the day and the night. You understand? No one was keeping Shabbat then. So let's see what covenant we belong under. Because there are slicksters who would like to sit there and teach that we cannot and should not keep the Shabbat. Because when the barbershops need to be open on Friday night, when you want to sit there and do this or that, that is the reason. And before I step down, I want to emphasize, I mention these things because I was there. Being born in this practically since the age of 2, now at the age of 38, being seeing this for 36 years, between the ages 25 to 28, I was out there. So I know what the reasoning is. You understand? No one's bothering you at work on Saturday, and it's overtime. Before the Most High say such. So there's no wiggling around to try to figure it out why Israelite brothers might say this or that. It's the Pesach and the Nashi. Told out my brother. Continue.
Verse
5. Okay, Exodus 19, verse 5.
And if he offer a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord, he shall offer it at your own will.
Okay, Exodus
19, verse 5. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
So the covenant that Israel had was to keep the commandments, not worry about his covenant with the day and the night. You don't have to worry about the day and night. He has the ordinances of the heavens already under control and all that. We are the ones who went off. Do you understand? So this is just something I want to point out for that reasoning and purpose. Okay, I got the time. Yeah, I got the time. No, all right. Okay. So that we're back. Let's go to now that I know that, those 2 more spots about the shot. Give me the book of Proverbs or Mishlei, written by Solomon, chapter 10. So the slick talk, the slick reasoning on why people not wanting to keep the Shabbat, in a nutshell, you can't say the covenant of the day and the night, because that doesn't involve you. You can't sit there and say it's the aspect of we're not in the land of Israel, because we were keeping it before we got into the land of Israel. The slick talk about saying the aspect of burnt offerings doesn't work. No. The particular ideology of teaching doesn't work. It doesn't hold much weight. That's right, man. You can't say because they were bringing up offerings and we can't do offerings, we cannot keep the Shabbat. Absolutely, emphatically, no. And if that's not enough, I emphasize again, there are many of our people who have been taken out, if probably not keeping the Shabbat. If they had been keeping the Shabbat, probably would still be. And that's a fact. That's a fact. You understand? So we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 10 about the Shabbat.
The Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son, maketh a glad father.
Right.
But a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother.
Meaning the grief of his mother. Yeah. Go on to verse 4.
He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich.
When you're dealing with the people of the Most High, as it says in the book of Genesis, that the Most High sent Joseph out in the Psalms 106, when he says he sent the man out before them, being Joseph. Anything that you put in your hand to do, if we know that 6 days we're commanded to work, and it says he becoming poor that buildeth with a slack hand, that's poor in anything. When you're not keeping it 100, when you're not putting your all into it, whatever it is, it shows itself. Whatever it is, studying, teaching, learning, working, socializing, whatever you are not putting your hardcore effort into, the Most High sees it, it will sit there and not bless you. And so that's one thing we must point out in regards to that.
That's what you call a slack hand.
Okay, the slack hand. Right. Proverbs or Mishlei 26 verse 10.
Slack hand. That's 16.
Okay, Babak Shah. Okay.
The great God that formed all, the great God that formed all things, both rewarded the fool and rewarded transgressors.
Go to verse 13, my fault.
13.
Yeah, Proverbs 26:13. Stop.
The slothful man say, there is a lion in the way. A lion is in the streets.
That is the person that does not think to achieve anything. They got every reason on why not to do something. Yo, something's going to happen. This is them. That is just straight. Every excuse to not step up. Joshua rebuked Israel for not claiming the land that the Most High has given them. You understand? Jacob rebuked his sons when they did not go and try to seek where they can get the bread at. So the characters that we could see from the men that were chosen to be leaders by the Most High is something that we have to sit there and pay close attention to. And you can see, even if it says, as it does, judges and officers you shall appoint. If the leader is off, give me Isaiah chapter 9:15. So we can see how the Most High deals with that particular aspect. Because being a Saul, a chief, a Nasi, or a prince, and being Zadik or righteous doesn't always fall hand in hand. So in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 15,
the ancient and honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them the and they that are led of them are destroyed.
The leaders of the people cause them the So, shalom, brother. So when you read about that, they who lead this people cause them the and they that are led of them are left destroyed. Brothers and sisters, when a person is understood as a Rosh, Nasi, a Saul, Tamal, Seven, Chief, Captain, Prince, so forth and so on, you must sit there and be having the people to lead you correctly. And how is that done? Give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 25. So we can see about the character that the Most High spoke about in that particular regard. Because you can't go and say, don't curse the ruler of the people in Exodus, and at the same token, the people who's leading the people causing them to be destroyed. That you can't mix the two like that. Because the northern kingdom told Rehoboam to be rid of. Because y'all off. You understand?
25. Withhold thy foot from being unshod, and thy throat from thirst.
Right.
But thou saidest, there is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go.
And read on.
As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed.
Now let's see who the Most High mentions about being ashamed.
Their kings,
their leaders,
their princes,
their leaders,
their priests,
their leaders,
their prophets,
their leaders,
saying to a stop, thou art my father,
right?
And to a stone, thou hast brought me forth.
So what's that telling you? The Most High is directing it at the leaders. With the Baal you all matter. Right. Do you know when it says hold the elders in the sun is talking about? Slay them. Slay them. Because you were supposed to sit there and gather the flock and say, no, don't do that. Instead, you sat there and those wasn't like Eli. Well, those boys, no, you can't do that. You can't do that in Yisrael. So this is something we want to point out in that particular regard. You're from there, brother, and give me Jeremiah 5:26. So we can see and gain understanding of what we're talking about.
For among my people are found wicked men.
Read on.
They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap, they catch men.
King.
As a cage is full of birds,
right,
so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they are become great and waxen rich. They are waxen fat, they shine. Yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless. Yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they not judge. Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this?
So it says, for among my people, meaning among the house of Israel, are found wicked men. Now we already read some of the titles that some of those wicked men had. The Lakim, kings, Nevi'im, prophets, the Se'im, princes, Semalim, sergeants, captains, if you will. That is what Isaiah talks about when it says the leaders of this people cause them the earth. All right? Go from there and give me the book of Babakushah. Give me the book of Zechariah. All right, we're going to go to the Zechariah chapter 2, verse 5. Hold on.
For I say the Lord, will be unto her a wall of fire round about.
Did I say Zechariah or Zephaniah?
Zechariah.
I said my fault, but I meant Zephaniah. Sorry, bro. All right, King. We are in Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 4 and 5. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 4. So
her prophets are light and treacherous persons.
You see who is calling out first? They're not talking solely about the layman, the person that is already led astray, and then the person who's over them is going to say, well, you should have studied anyway. Nah, it's saying her prophets are what?
Are light,
right?
Treacherous persons.
Tamshi.
Her priests have polluted the sanctuary.
Right.
They have done violence to the Lord.
How does the priest do balance to the Lord? Because you go in Exodus and say, don't curse the rule of the people, but you're not sitting up here and amending your ways. You're living like the sons of Eli, with the women coming in as harlots, and so forth and so on, delving in wickedness, and then using your title as a way to sit there and say, see, I complain. Yeah. What can you do to me? I'm already there. That's what the Most High is talking about. You see, the prophets have done balance by the law. You're trying to use the law as a way to abuse it against the people. And that right there is unholy, brothers and sisters. Yeah. You should not in Israel, brothers and sisters, feel coming out in the aspect of the Shabbat, like working for the white man during the course of the week. What do I mean by that? You cannot run the house of Israel like the oppressors run the black man, running her so-called black and Hispanic. Can't do that. Can't do that. If your mentality is saying, if you don't raise up on your boss, then you shouldn't sit there and tell me anything, that is undecent. That's what I'm trying to point out in that particular regard. You want to find out why Israelites sit there and feel away and may not want to be around or move funny in certain ways is because they already been led, distraught, and already upset in many, many, many cases. Yeah. So when you try to sit there and present the aspect, like I remember, may he rest in peace, Shimei used to always talk about a lot of places being like prisons without bars. You understand? So now when you're trying to sit there and present an aspect, oh, sit down, you're a woman, sit down, you ain't got no rank, and so forth and so on, you see what the brother Chief Mikael read about they who had the rank. Let's close out in Ezekiel 34, about the shot. All right? Because that's where the Most High went to first. The kings, the priests, the prophets, the dirty, the unclean. Right, Chief? Both dirty and unclean. Meluflock and Tommy. You got both words. Whether you like the word dirty or unclean, either one. You got it right there. Hey, you can't do that to the house of Israel. It tells you you're not supposed to deal with oppression with the children of the people. It tells you that. You understand? Tom Sheik, brother, Ezekiel 34, and we'll close out.
The word of the Lord came unto me, saying,
right,
Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Who?
Prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
No, the brother that came in 2 years ago and still trying to find out whether or not Hebrew had vowels or not.
Prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
The shepherds. When you're dealing, like the brother Chief Uziel stated, if you're a shepherd, you don't be in the front, you be in the back so the sheep can stay in order. You, the shepherd doesn't sit here, so you can watch, so you can be the shepherd, the roe, the zope, the watchman. You can't do that leading the people in the front when they're saying your back. Tom Sheep.
Prophesy and say unto them,
right,
thus saith the Lord God unto the shepherds, woe be to the shepherds of Israel,
right,
that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flock?
Right.
Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock.
Right.
The disease had ye not strengthened, neither had ye healed that which was sick.
Right.
Neither had ye bound up that which was broken. Neither had ye brought again that which was driven away. Neither had ye sought that which was lost. But with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them.
Okay, so the Most High is denouncing the shepherds based upon how the shepherds dealt with his flock. Come sheep.
And they were scattered, because there was no shepherd. And they became meat unto all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. My sheep wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill. Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them.
King.
Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely, because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock.
My flock. So when you're dealing with the children of the Most High, it's his people. It's his people. Psalms 127 says children are a gift from the Most High. That's his son and daughter. You don't have the right to do abortion. That's his. Tamshi. No, that's witchcraft. Actually, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 speaks about those who practice abortion or witch. It talks about it. Okay, Tamshi, brother.
But thus said the Lord God, behold, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out, as a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered. So will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. And I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries, and will bring them to their own land, feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers, and in all the inhabited places of the country.
So the purpose that the Most High had established to have Israel back in their land is still going to happen. The purpose of the Most High's word doesn't go out and come back void. So he's stating, when you read in your own time, that he would take his flock from the shepherds that led his people astray. So it's not your flock, it's the Most High's flock. And if you are set up in any capacity as a leader or seen as such in the house of Israel, you must sit there and have order, instruction, and reconcile even within the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That is why a person that is a priest who can sit there and see if a person is clean and unclean has no business touching another man's wife. And this person searched naked bodies to see what leprosy is. You understand? So this is just something I want to point out in regards to that. With that, closing out, Shabbat, stop trying to be slick and say we can't keep it because you want the overtime and you want the women, brothers and sisters, that game has to end. All right? Shalom Lakem.
Aquí, viviendo en agua ajena, aquí, if it only escalate, a more game will be created. Anyway, let me go back home. I already know everybody wants to be American. That's the top of the line. That's it. American, rock, fashion, nothing. In the escalator, you see a lot of this. Now, this is get kind of break with it. You ain't got no question. Go back to the 60s, right? Go back to the 60s. There are people fishing in the 60s. Grandfathers that were more understand. We had to work in the world. Go back 60, 50. More units. That's the word. In the household of Hebrews. I think that. Which was Abraham. So a young man was a kid when God told Abraham to Hebrew. Jonah said, Hebrew. Not Hebrew. God said, Israel forget that. I don't want them to do the same thing. I'm not in the Hebrew. First, Hebrew, the word Israel. Jiva, Abraham, God, and all that people. Oh, no, no, no. Don't escape what I told Abraham to Hebrew. That's right. Hebrew. I know the church. I'm telling you something. I got a reading on book I was here. Yes, yeah. Why would I Israelites contract with another man? Let him kill. You respect that? Huh? No. It's what they do. And the same thing was here. Nobody else worship. You're born, my nigga. New York. Where? Kingston. Where you worship? Pittsburgh. So what we said, all the verses you can follow there. We just talking similar people. We should confirm it and say, which of a man do he shall what? Live in them. You say in Israel, well, we have to tell this, that's part one. Part two is to live it and walk it. Live it and walk it, or get out my face. When I see you, I'm pulling on my eyes, do I get out of you? I don't trust you. I don't think you're my son, because you whoever. Because we all in the same bag. I ain't got no documents either. My documents are from Central America. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, if you with it, you gotta live it. Do not live it, my eyes is on you. You whatever you are, my eyes is on you. Eyes is on you. Eyes is on you. I got you. It's not a game, you know what I'm saying? You come to America, United States, US. He's not running game on you. That is not running games on you, son. What up? 17. So the thing is to live it. If you're not living it, you're not nuts. You have to live it. You have to walk it. Live it and walk it. Diet. Come on, diet. Give us a diet. He gave us dress code. He gave us days to worship. He covers all of that. He takes out to worship. Go to worship and confirm the worship of God. And also to respect and honor your father and your mother. All that is respected. Other than that, you put yourself in the zone to get licked. I'm saying? I don't care who you is, man. Friend, soul, son, whoever. Stay in your place that God said, or you're going to get licked. As simple as that. Kill, and it's getting over here. Kill. God, I really showed you doing it. He do easy. He wake the judge up in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, wake him up. The judge is full. Wake the judge up and get in touch with your Lord. You know what I'm saying? God do all things. God, Joseph was a dungeon, he do all things. Do all things. That's what I live with. I don't like talking about that, you're tight. There's too much games going on, son. Yeah, too much games. You teach schools over there, yes, yeah. You have to do this here, right? Good. Well, I used to be good. Well, you know, let me tell you something. These people not listening, man. They're not listening. They're not paying it no mind. You just do this and come on here for a show. For a show. I got my thing. Caps. I will blow. Caps. Although you don't respect God for marriage, you want to act stupid, you won't get it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm trying to go
First of all, give all honor and praise to the God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob, great man and revered God, the Most High God, who bestows loving kindness to us in all things, who remembers the pious deeds of the patriarchs, the Most High, store of land and great kindness for human iniquity and transgressions, who by no means play the guilty. Visit iniquities of fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation. The Most High, his word is perfect, all his ways of justice, God of peace, and God of iniquity, just and right. Giving due respect and honor to the head of Israel, chief of the exile, to the chief men, princes, brothers and sisters, mothers in Israel, see unto you the tongue of my forefathers. Shabbat shalom. The laws of God are holy, and he gave it to a holy people to separate them from the people, from the nations round about. But we turned against God. We turned our backs on God. We turned against God and turned towards idolatry. We did the very same thing that the Most High commanded us not to do. He said, don't marry into these women. He said, don't take their women. So when we serve the idols and the gods of the nation, when we serve the gods and the idols of the nation, all I got to do is do like unto them. That's it. All I got to do is do like unto them. Observe their festivities. Observe their holidays. Cling to their ways. Do their ways. Be like unto them. Like them. Then you are serving their gods. I don't have to be in the church to serve their gods or in the Muslim mosque to serve their gods. Let's live like unto them. Let's do the things that they do. Yes. Observe their times. When they're happy, you are happy. Yes. They're celebrating, you're celebrating. Yes. What am I doing? What am I doing acknowledging the ways and the customs of the heathens on their days? I can't acknowledge these days. I can't have fun and enjoy myself on their days. We got our own days to enjoy ourselves. Feast of unleavened bread, new moon, feast of weeks, feast of booths. We have our own times to rejoice and be happy with. But we don't want to observe these. We don't want these times that God gave us. We want to observe their times because we have not let go of their past. We have not let go of our past. We have not let go of our past. We have not let go of what was taught us. We have not let go of the things that we learned. To serve this God, it takes a certain mentality to do these laws, commandments, and statutes. Because when God said, thou shalt, I got to say, thou shalt. I can't say opposite to what the Most High said. I can't disagree to what God said. I can't go against the things that he said in the book. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 18.
Okay, and before you start doing this commandment, you gotta let go of those bad, nasty ways you got, man. You gotta let that go first because it ain't gonna let you do this. Right. You gotta let go, stop being a Sodomite. The place full of Sodomites. You gotta stop that. You gotta know what's going on, man. You gotta stop that, man. Man or woman, you gotta stop that, man. You're filthy and nasty dogs. You gotta stop that, man. You can't be no Sodomite and serve this God. And Sodomite not only cover name with a man. You're kinky, you're funny, you're weird. You do oral sex. You know what I'm saying? You should practice see what these men talk, man. This man talking and saying it ain't unlawful to do certain things with men. This is what Israelite men is saying, son. They ain't got no problem burying money. I will bury you money. Because I know you're not Israel. I know you're wicked and you ain't Israel. You can't prove it. You can prove you're a nigger. You do everything niggas do. But whatever God said do, you don't go out of your way to do it. You go out of your way to be a Negro. You go out of your way to fit the system, but not to do what God said. So I don't respect that. You put on our robe, walking on, don't play no game, no. I will burn. I will burn because I know the game. The robe don't make you the part. Talk don't make you the part. So what we should have done is what?
Living.
I'm for living. You have to live it. When you live it, you make it different. The robe don't make you different. Just a nigga with road. Play with people. It's a nigga with road. So I know the people is crap. You hear me? So I feel next time when you come up here, don't open my door. Don't open my door. Because me and those Israelite places we're not the same. I can't say you my brother. Because you're doing things that God said don't do. You venerate images, you eat blood, you eat fat, and you're involved deeply in sodomy. Sodomy. Oral sex, honor, you're involved in all of that. So, they call you my brother. And then you can just die. When you start keeping this, then I forget about it. Father say me and you be brother, and be one. Then I don't put myself up there to beg any mark. You know we do. You know what I'm saying? I don't live like that. I don't live like that. I don't live like that, son. My family, as David said, my household is not so with me. David's household, David's family, David's son, they live like that. Huh? I said, same here. My household, my family, my son, they don't live like me, right? They don't live like me. They're different. My way of life is what that commanded to what God said. Whatever God said in that book, that's what I'm going on my way to do. And like that, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying, son? Eh? That man, warrior, don't think about your warrior. You're not a warrior, you're not ready to die. That's when you get die. A warrior lives to die. A warrior lives to die. Don't go back with that war stuff in here. Because there ain't no warriors in here. Don't come up in here and fuck with niggas, some people make it live. A warrior lives to die. Alright? A warrior don't drop his stuff and police come up free. He's gonna do things. It's court date. That's a warrior. Absalom. Joe, I tell you about this one. What? And the brother there, the woman dropped the stuff with him. They said, yeah, the minister on him, damaged, he was damaged. He called his soul and said, y'all, he said, basically, if you hit me, I'll kill me. Because I don't want to die by the hand of a woman. Stress and water. Or you live to die. You don't succumb on something. I said, as I told you, Joab wouldn't drop his weapon. You know, opposite forces. So what should I drop mine? Not one there. You didn't even talk more free. Please. Coordinate. Coordinate. I'm talking that wild stuff for you because I know you're not. Just this. Don't play no games, man. Don't play no games. Play no games. Our job is to do these commandments. Do these commandments, fulfill them, live in them, walk in them. If you don't do these commandments, you are straight up nigger. No sense in dreaming. Nigger. Get off those ships. Not because, you know, you don't even.
And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel. Speak unto the sons of Israel. Speak unto the sons of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. Like the doings, can I say him? Can like unto their doings. Can I say, meaning their practices, their customs, their traditions, their actions, their deeds, their work, their business, their occasions. Occasions mean special events, their ceremonies, their celebrations. A practice, you know what a practice is? A practice is the usual way of doing something, and it goes into your habits. So anything you practice becomes habitual. It becomes a habit. So therefore, the laws of God can be habitual to you. I just got to do it repetitively. I got to keep doing it over and over. Once I start and begin to do these laws continuously, it will begin to grow on you. It'll become habitual. It'll become habitual. They act in a particular way. This is what it has become habitual. Now, Anything has become habitual, has become your character, which will stain your name. Which will stain your name. Okay? Habit is a practice. Okay? Occasions, special events, ceremonies, celebrations. I gotta watch the things that I celebrate. We didn't celebrate the same thing that a heathen celebrate. We didn't celebrate, we didn't have the special events, the same events as a heathen had. Everything was different. Everything about us was different and separated. Whatever you engage in is what you're interested in. Those are your interests. Interests. The businesses goes into your affairs and matters. Affairs goes into your concerns, your procedures, your actions. So we got a lifetime job just not to live like unto live like unto these people. That's why the Most High says, separate yourselves from these people. That's why the Most High commanded us to destroy these 7 nations that are greater and mightier than now. He said, because they're going to be a thorn on your side. They're going to definitely be a thorn on your side. But we didn't take heed. We didn't take heed. We let these people live. We left them. We married into them. We made covenants with them. Because we love them. We made covenants and agreements with these people. And guess what? We end up serving their God and living like unto these people. All because we didn't want to hearken and listen to the commandments of God. Right? It's like the doings of the land of Egypt, like the doings of the land of America, wherein ye have dwelt, shall ye not do. What am I doing having a barbecue on the 4th of July? This is the day, this is the time, or on any of their holidays. What am I doing these things on their holidays, on their events? But you have, look, as soon as the Feast of Unleavened Bread of Yom, or these times come, our times come around, they're breaking loose. They don't want to hang around. No, they rather be around pagans or heathens because they are heathens. They're just here in body. But in the mind, like the doings of the land of Egypt, when ye have dwelt, shall ye not do. And like the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. And in their statutes ye shall not walk. To walk means to walk, go in a certain course or procedure. Right? My ordinance, my judgment shall ye do, and my statutes ye shall keep, to walk in them. I am the Lord your God. And ye shall in their statutes shall ye not walk. In their statutes. Their statutes are the things of how they live, what they observe, the way they walk. Everything about a heathen, if we follow the things that they do, then we are walking in their statutes. We are walking in their ways. We are walking in their paths. It says, and ye shall keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. If I call myself doing these laws, I will live in them. I can't live in something that I'm not doing. And I can't do something that I'm not living in. So the only way you can find and read about the intricacy of how our forefathers lived, I gotta read the book. I gotta read. If I don't read, I will never learn the ways and the customs of our forefathers and able to walk after the ways and the customs of our forefathers, because the same God then is the same God now. Whatever the Most High accepted is right here in the book. He's not going to accept you no other way different than what the Most High accepted the men in this book. So therefore, we have to walk after these men in this book in order for God to accept you. If I'm not walking like these men in this book, He's not going to accept you that way.
There's in my mind for you hard back, you can't read, I mean, that ain't that stupid. I'm legally blind. I think that everything. I listen to that every day. But there's no excuse unless you're down. Right? You don't talk that junk around you, man. It ain't no excuse. What you need to do is choose. You need to go live with the niggas, man. Go live with the niggas. Don't come back here no more when I'm on Shabbat, man. See the message that you bring and the song that you sing. Be for real. Be for real. We don't make them stay out. Don't come back here, no. We don't deny you, God. You deny the people.
No.
I tell you to read. That's what it is. Read people. Read people, read niggas. You know that walk. I don't want to cry to breakers. I want to read people. You like that? Go on, man. Don't come back here, son. Whoever it is. Whoever it is. My son, whatever you represent, stay out here. Don't come back here. Take a big pop. Whoever it is. Our mind is made up to dance with this God. Our mind is made up. That's why you ain't gonna never see me in the street. You dress any other way other than this. You ain't gonna never see me nowhere in the street dressed any way other than this. Keep away your feet and kick it. You know what I'm saying? Stay out there. You don't have to come here. So you're not missing. Not missing. I want to real men here. Real men, what real men do? Real men keep God's commandments. Not about your man. Not about your God, God now. No. Real men keep God's commandments. You humble yourself to God, monkey, and do what God said. The gun and the knife don't make you a man. They make you bad with a gun. Real men keep God's commandments. So if you're a real man, humble yourself to God. Make covenant to your God. Keep God's commandments. And start looking the way God designed. Or He designed the way for us to be. That's why He does no shame and no cut to here. He designed how you should look. That's what it means. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I've been seeing this for over 40 years. I'm tired of it. I'm going right over here. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. About to hurt something. About to hurt something.
Verse 24.
Tired of it.
Do not defile yourselves. Tamed. Come from the word tamed. Tamed means unclean or impure. Do not make yourself unclean or impure. There is certain things that we can do against God, against these laws, that will cause you to be unclean and impure. Unclean meaning morally or spiritually unclean. Prohibited by ritual law for use or contact. Prohibited. Right. So now,
does that mean you ain't do a shower in 2 weeks?
No.
Thank
There are things that can cause you to be unclean. I can sit in a chair. Where a woman sat in her uncleanness, and I touch that chair and I become unclean. Oh, period. If I touch a man where it seems, and this man just had sex and semen left him, I touch him, I can become unclean. Right. But what I'm reading here is not talking about that type of uncleanness. You know the type of uncleanness it's talking about? What? Me sleeping or cohabitating with my sister. It causes you to be unclean. Leviticus 18. When it says, tell you everything what to do or father's kinsman. He said, don't sleep with your father's with your aunt. Don't sleep with your near kin. He said, by these things the nations defile themselves. You can defile yourselves by doing these things. You can defile yourselves by sleeping with my sister. I can defile myself by sleeping with my aunt. I can defile myself and make myself unclean by doing certain things against the laws of God. That's what it says, morally and spiritually impure. Okay? Impure meaning not pure. When you look at the definition of pure, not pure, pure means free from vitiates. Vitiates is, okay, to make faulty or defective, often by the addition of something that impairs. What makes you faulty and defective? When we sin and break the laws of God.
When we sin and break God's law, it makes you defective and faulty, which means what? God can't use you. He can't use you for nothing righteous or good. It makes you faulty and defective. Okay? It said free from variance, right? Free from that which weakens. Weakens means not able to resist external force. What is the external force? The external force is what's on the outside. I can't resist their holidays. I can't resist celebrating their holidays, their traditions, their practices, their ways. I can't resist following their ways and their paths. I can't resist those things. He said, not able to resist external force. You're going to give in to the ways of heathens. When you defile yourself by breaking the laws of God, by doing certain things in the laws of God, that defiles you. Right? Okay? Right. Okay, now go to Amos 9. Let's go to it says pancakes. The restaurant. The patties are like the restaurant. Not able to withstand temptation. Go to Amos 9, Amos 9, verse 7. He said, not able to withstand temptation and persuasion, not grounded. That's the same definition for weakened. Not able to withstand temptation. Who couldn't withstand the temptation? Eve, Adam. Because God told them and commanded Adam not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That tree that's in the midst of the garden. He said, don't eat from it and don't touch it. And the adversary, the devil, approached his wife, her suggestions and persuaded her and beguiled her to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And then she went, Amos 9, verse 7. Then she went, took her the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and gave it to Adam. Now, guess what? Now we all gotta die now. This is what the Most High was trying to stop to. Trying to stop. We went against God. We've been against God, and we ate from that tree. Now look. Now Adam knew it wasn't supposed to be. Did you not know that? Right. He listened to his woman. That's all you monkeys do today. So if I was this pagan woman, you follow their ways, man. Make she follow your ways. You follow this pagan woman, heathen woman, you follow their ways. So man, that's right. You got backed up. I said, no, Eve, don't go. You eat it. I don't want none. Different mathematics today, right? Man would have lived. Only one guy would have been that woman. He didn't listen. Give in to him. Like, man, I don't listen to my people. I don't get down like that no more. For my people. My people. My people. You my people. I'm your people. I'm not going to set you up with no cops in there, right? I'm not going to put no contract to take your life, man. You come to people from people. My people, keep God's commandments. Respect God, respect His law. Then I'll begin to look at your deal. The first thing you got to start looking, you got to start dressing simple. You got to dress simple. You got to dress simple. Because you and I can think the way you dress. Right. Oh, yeah. You don't believe it? Start living panties like a woman for your drawers. Nobody knows but you. After a while, you will see how you act. Put on panties. Nobody knows but you. Only you know. And you want to see how you act after a while. After 6 months or a year, you do that and see how you act. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. God gave us a dress code. He didn't want us dressing like those people. You know what I'm saying? He gave us a dress code. He gave us diet. Most people don't pop this, you know why? Because most people dress and eat like them. You talk God when you dress and eat like them. You gotta cover 360. Cover 360. The only day you spend with a family? No. You gotta be put against God. The God is gone. Put it on. But put it off, son. Not me, this is me, son. This is me. Just get out of my face, man. Now tell someone to hear yo. I want to see you with the mountain, son. Whoever it is, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I want to see you with this, man. This is what men do. This is what men do. Listen to God. 100. God. That's only one to fear. God. Listen to that 100. This is what men do.
And it also means not grounded. Like I said before, there are things that we can do against the laws of God that will defile you and cause you to be unclean. Will cause you to separate and distance yourself before God. Okay? It also means not grounded. Tom Shemek, verse 7. Are you not
as children of the
Ethiopians? The what? Of the children, are you not as the children of the Ethiopians? He said, you living just like the Ethiopians. Keshu, Kushiim, one of the descendants of Cush, grandson of Noah, through hair. Okay? He said, O children of Israel, and I say the Lord, have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt? God took you up out of Egypt. I delivered you out of the hands of Egypt. Right? Is that read? And the Philistines from Caphtor. Caphtor is the home of the Philistines on the southwest coast of Asia. Tamshi.
And the Syrians from Ker.
And the Syrians from Ker, a place in Mesopotamia, which means wall.
Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom.
Behold, the eyes of the Lord thy God is upon the sinful kingdom. So if the kingdom back then was sinful, what makes you think of today, of the people today? What makes you think that about these people today? We worse than our forefathers. We worse than our forefathers. The simple kingdom. And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
And I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
Well,
lo, I will come in. I will sift the house of Israel.
Wait. The word for sift is hanioti. Hanioti, it means to sway. To sway. To sway means to cause to turn aside. I will cause Israel to turn aside.
That's right.
I will turn you aside. So Israel have a hard time following after the laws of God because God done turned us aside. We don't push God away. So therefore, He's going to give you the lust of your own heart. He said, I will turn you aside. I will deflect you, to divert. I will cause you to vacillate. To vacillate means to waver in the mind. Waver in the mind, will, or feeling. To hesitate in choice. To hesitate in choice of opinion or courses. To waver means you're not sure. You're undecided. You're undecided. You're undecided whether this is God. You're undecided whether He's not. You're undecided. And that's what God did to the sinful kingdom. That's what God did to Israel. That's what God did to Israel. To waver means to fluctuate in opinion, to fluctuate in allegiance, to fluctuate in your direction and choices. To fluctuate means you shift back and forth. You shift back and forth. My allegiance is to you today. Oh, I'm good today. Oh, tomorrow, my allegiance, I ain't to you no more. You fluctuate.
You fluctuate. Today you like roll, tomorrow you like tiny.
Fluctuate.
Oh no, I will commit.
All the day, every day, all the day, every day. David at all times, man. At all times, you don't fluctuate. You don't fluctuate. You can't fluctuate until God. When you wishy-washy, what you gonna do? You can't live both life. You got to choose. You said choose. You're gonna be a nigga, you're a full-blown Israel, or full-blown nigga. 50-50 don't count. Choose. That's like a brawl.
Go to Psalm 17.
Yeah.
Psalm chapter 17.
That's real. That's real. I don't like being around you. He said, hear the right. God don't hear everybody. You think every prayer that go up, people that think he's talking about their praying, God hear it? No. You know why God ain't gonna hear every and anybody's prayer? Because you're gonna be accepted by God. Or else what he said in Genesis 4 don't mean nothing. God turned to Cain. He said, why art thou wrong? He said, why is your countenance falling? Why are you looking so sad? He said, if you do as well, thou shalt be accepted. In the Hebrew, it says, exalted. I will lift you up. He said, I will exalt you. He said, but if you do as not well, sin lie at the door, and unto you shall it be your desire. So therefore, in order for God to accept my prayer, I have to be accepted. If I'm not accepted, he's not only going to accept your prayer. He said, hear the right. Now, there were certain qualifications that will cause God to hear you. Okay? It says, hear the right, right? Shin El Shaddai Zedek. Zedek, that's the word for right. Zedek means just or right. Zedek means just or right. Just conforming to a standard of correctness, morally upright and good. To conform means to accept. Conform means to accept the standard of correctness. The standard of correctness is the laws of God. The laws of God. No nigga. Right. Meaning conforming to facts. Or trying to make you just. You conform to the laws of God. He said, here. Just was 2 years because I think the 2 niggas is right. You can't believe either one of them. Get the hell out of here. You conform to what God said. Now you're just. You see Ezekiel 1:32. Okay. You can't go with the just like that. That is just. He said, hear the right, O Lord. Attend unto my cry. Give ear unto my prayer. That goeth not out of faint lips. The word for faint is mirma. Mirma means subtly, craft, deceitful, false. Now these are all the characteristics of the adversary. These are all the characteristics of the adversary. Why I say that? Because in Genesis 3 it says, what is Genesis 3? No, stay where you at me, I'll go there. Adversary and wicked men. In Genesis 3, it says, and the serpent was subtle. The serpent was subtle. Alum means subtle, crafty, and sly. Okay? Subtle, crafty, and sly. Okay, now. So, what is subtle? What is subtlety? Subtle means having a sharp insight and ability to deeply and thoroughly. That's what the adversary did to Eve. Penetrator. He broke the wall. He broke through. It caused her to go against the commandment of God. To serve this God, we need God on our side to serve this God. And He's on your side, love. He's not going to be on your side going against the things that is both from right and that oak. So I guess this is my sword. This adversary. You don't know more football than you know that. Yes, you will know more football than you know that. Don't never know that. Take, we will listen to it. You never take, we will listen to it. You will know more football, you will know more boxing, more that crack, and you know that ball. I can't look at you as one of the people. I can't. Subtly, craft, skill and deceit. And that's what happened. He said, these people live. All right? Come see, verse 2.
Let my senses come forth, and eyes behold the things that are.
He said, and the serpent was subtle. Right? Trickery, wily, right? Trickery is the practice of crafty underhand. Anything that's done underhand is done in secrecy, is done in deception. Ingenuity to ingenuity. Wily, it means to beguile, skill in outwitting. To outwit, anything you outwit, you outsmart. You outsmart us, and that's what the adversary did to Eve. He outsmarted her and beguiled her and tricked her into eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Okay? Only because God, that's right. Because the odds when we're not moving smart. We've done that stuff. Stick to your listen to what he said. A man, you adversary will do that to men. He won't do that to you. You stick close to your husband, which is God Almighty. That. Says yours. I think about it. I think about it. Do what he said. He called her and told me, said, I don't like you. You're in those clothes. All right? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop you in those clothes. It's my husband. I ain't no fake. I ain't no freak. I don't want none of them tight dudes around me. If you my son, the fake and freak, what about your business, son? I can't trust you. That's what it is. David had a lot of sons. And the only son that you roll and rock with is Bathsheba, 4 boys. Simon, Shemuel, Shua. Don't 4 dudes. Don't 4 sons rock with. The rest of them didn't rock with them. That's not why I'm killing her with a posse. The posse was with them 4 fellas from Bathsheba and his mighty men. 600 assassins. That's who he rocked with. I ain't got no 600 assassins, but I got a few. Got 8 boys. You can't trust all of them. See snaky. Just a few. Just a few. Deceive means to fail to fulfill. It means to cause to accept what is false or invalid. I cause you to accept the things that is against God. I teach it against it. All right? It says, let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Look at what is equal. Yashad. Mesharim. From the word Yashad means the right things, straight, evenness. What is straight? Showing honesty and fairness. Showing honesty and fairness. What is evenness? Being without indentation. What is indentation? To have a weakening effect. To have a weakening effect. You know what that means? To have a weakening effect. That's what God said. Don't hang around these people. What happened when we killed off these 7 nations? They had a weakening effect on Israel. You can have a weakening effect on Israel by living out of the laws of God. That's what God said. He said, listen, kill these 7 nations. He said, because they going to have you serving their gods. You're going to serve their gods. And indentation, he said, being without indentation, to have a weakening effect. That's what God said, to destroy them 7 nations. We always try to be like the other nations. You don't find the other nation trying to be like us.
Teach.
You don't find them out there. put on a gun with you, right? Look at this, right? Y'all Israelite, you bastard. Y'all was walking out something like them. Y'all don't want to dress like them. You don't like none want to do like us. None. So I said to myself, I'm going to do my body. People get better off. Yeah. I got a pattern. Not a fake monkey, yo. You fake, who gonna treat you like? Come to get something. Come to you. He died and death of the right, you know what David said? You don't find you gonna find a needle to my ass out of the roof. I said, well, if niggas like to my ass, I'll just leave it on. You back about how you worship? No. But we concerned about that. You gotta ask about your celebration. Peace on every planet. But we ain't being proud of their celebration. We ain't bothered their celebration. They don't give a damn about what you do. They don't care about you. They don't care about your God. They don't care about nothing. We care about all about that. We care all about that. We care all about it. That's it.
Thou hast proved my heart. Thou hast tested my heart. Thou hast examined my heart. Thou hast tried my heart. How did God try your heart? He said he tried your heart, meaning he see what's in you. He try you to see what's in you. What's your makeup? Are you gonna follow God? Are you gonna do his laws or not? He said, thou hast visited me in the night. He said, you visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me. Thou shalt find nothing. Come see. I am purpose. I am purpose. Come from the word propose. Propose means to form or put forward a plan or intention. My intention is to serve God. If your intention is to serve God, then you're going to do the laws of God. You're going to show it in your actions. Your intentions can't be one thing and you do opposite to what your intentions is. Now, see?
Concerning the works of men.
Concerning the deeds and the actions of men.
By the word of thy lips.
By the words of thy lips.
I have kept me from the paths of the destroyer.
I have kept me from the path of the destroyer. The path or way of life, conduct, or thought. The way you live, the way you conduct yourself, and the way you think. All three things count before God. The way I live. How do I live? How do I order my life? I order my life according to the laws of God. How do you conduct yourself? And not only that, the way you conduct yourself is your behavior. I behave according and I keep it within the realms of the laws of God. Which means I'm going to listen to you when you tell me something. I'm going to listen to this one, or hearken to this, or hearken to that when it's right. To conduct myself in a certain manner, in a certain thought, the way you think. All those things count with God. Not just doing this, but I leave out this, and this. Everything counts. Come see.
Hold up
My goings in thy path. This is something you gotta ask God. I gotta ask the Most High to hold up my goings. Keep me walking in your laws. Keep me out. You know why? Because there are times when we get weak. Oh yeah. There are times when we get weak. And then when we get weak, we start to back up from the laws of God. Yeah, we back up from the laws of God. Because anytime we break the sins of God, anytime we break the laws of God, anytime we break the laws of God, you back up. That's backing up. That's what you call backing up on the law of God. Read. Hold up my goings in thy path.
That my footsteps
slip not. To slip and to totter. That's what it means. To totter means to become unstable. Yes, Israel is unstable. You know when we become unstable? Because we go against God. Today I'm right, tomorrow I'm wrong. I'm right. You are unstable. You swaying. It said it also means to fall into error or false. He said, hold up my goings in my path that my footsteps slip not. I don't want to violate your law, O Musa. So keep me and hold me up in your ways. Come see.
I have called upon thee.
I have called upon thee.
But thou wilt hear me, O
But
God.
thou won't hear me, oh God. Yeah, he gonna hear David. Because David's ways is 100% perfect with God. 100% perfect with God. David was so much, God loved David so much that he sent Nathan the prophet. He said, listen, he said, don't worry about it. He said, it's erased. He said, it's erased. Come see.
I have called upon thee, but thou wilt hear. But thou wilt hear me, O God. Incline thine ear unto me, hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O that thou savest by thy right hand, and was put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of the eye.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye.
Hide me under the shadow of thy wings.
Hide me under the shadow of thy wings.
From the wicked that oppress me.
From the wicked that oppress me. The word for oppress is shaduni. Shaduni, it means to deal violently with. From the wicked that deals violently with me. Right? It means despoil or assault. To assault is a violent physical or verbal attack. Can you think of a certain way that I'm talking? I can't talk to you and just verbally attack. I can't just talk to you that way. No, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. Come see. And from my deadly enemies who compass me about, they are
enclosed.
They are enclosed. They are surrounded in their own fat. When you look at fat, it also means their folly. And their own folly, their own ideas, their own ways. That's what it means. It don't actually mean that. And that actually means their own wickedness, their own evilness, their own ways, their own folly, their own stupidity, their own ideas, and they won't change. They won't flip.
They have not compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey. And as it were, a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him.
Arise, O Lord, disappoint him.
Cast him
It
down.
means to prevent. You look up in the Hebrew, it means to prevent or anticipate. So anything you prevent, you hold back or keep back. You refrain them. Yeah. There are certain people that claim to be in the laws of God, but the Most High is holding you back, is keeping you back from excelling in the laws of God because of your ways. Because you have not made your mind up to serve this God, to do these laws. And you continuously break his laws presumptuously. Presumptuously. He said, arise, O Lord, disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. See? From men
which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness.
Okay, cut that. Let's go to one more chapter. Let's go to Psalms. Psalms 18. 18 verse 20.
The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness.
He said, the Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. The word for reward is gamal. Gamal means to deal with or to repay me. God is going to repay you according to your righteousness, which means whatever I put out, whatever righteousness I put out, that's what you're going to get in return. That's what you're going to get in return. If I don't put no righteousness out or put no works out, then you're not getting nothing in return. Don't look for nothing good. He said, the Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. Read. according to the cleanness. Verse 20. Psalm 18, verse 20.
For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God.
Verse 20.
The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands.
According to the cleanness of my hands,
Have he
recompensed me. And he recompensed me, which means he turned to. What is the cleanness of my hands? I don't lie. I don't steal. Basically, you don't sin presumptuous. You don't break God's law. That's what causes your hands to be clean. Now, it said the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world, they that dwell therein. He hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Science has nothing to do with the word of God. If God said, let the dry land appear, that's what happened. God, the Most High, is the only one with the power of the spoken words. He said, let the dry land appear. Dry land appear. He said, let the sun command the host of heaven. It came. He created the earth out of nothing because it was just water and it was darkness upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God hovered. It said hovered in the Hebrew. It said he glided or hovered over the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. What science? We don't need science when we're dealing with God. Because once the commandment of God goes forth, it's going to go down. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay? He said, who shall ascend? Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? Qualification. He said, he that had clean hands and a pure heart. You know what a clean hands is? Free from moral corruption, free from offensive treatment, sexual subjects, and from use of obscenity. Clean hands and a pure heart. What is a pure heart? Me not thinking wickedly against you. Me, I'm ready to accuse this man of doing something, and I ain't seen him do it. I don't have a pure heart. I don't have a pure heart. If I'm ready to accuse somebody. The matter is done. It's dead. It's dead. He said, he that had clean hands and a pure heart, who had not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor dealt deceitfully. Okay? You don't keep the commandments that you know, you don't have a pure heart either. That's right. Let's check it out. Don't keep the commandments you do not pure. That's right. Not pure with God. That's right. With God. What? That's right. Why? For I had kept thy ways. For I had kept thy ways, your path, your directions, your manners, your habits, the course of life, morals, character, everything is in one. Everything. So I kept your ways, kept the ways of God, and have not wickedly departed from thy God. Verse 22.
All his judgments were before me.
All his judgments before me.
And I did not put away his statutes.
And I did not put away my statutes from him.
I was also upright before him.
I was also upright before him.
And I kept myself from my iniquity.
And I kept myself from my iniquity. I held myself back from violating the commandments of God. I refrained myself from violating the commandments of God. He said, therefore, had the Lord recompensed me. Therefore, had the Lord turned to me. God ain't going to turn towards you if I continuously break his laws, transgress his commandments. He said, according to that wickedness from thy law. Therefore, when you depart from that, that's just the first step of being free. You have to rock your life
You have to rape nobody. You have to be a liar. Just depart from what God said, nigga, you'll make it. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to leave this town. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of bumping that come around. I don't come around you. I don't go to near one of your houses. I stay in my bed with my ribs, my wife. So if you come around me, just blend into this life that I have in ya. Tell you right now, woman, everybody, family or no family, son or no son, you come around me, you blend into the commandments of the Lord and the ways of God. I'm not having anything out in here. I'm going to lay you out. I am going to lay you out. My wife can't stop me. I'm going to lay you out. I don't care about myself. God is the precinct commander. He's the police chief and all that. And he's boss of the FBI. The only game we play is command. The laws of God. If you're not with it, don't come. If you're with it partially, don't come. But you don't get hurt. I'm a jam.
With the pure, that will show thyself. With the merciful, that will show thyself mercy. With the upright man, that will show thyself upright. With the pure, that will show thyself pure. And with the forward, that will show thyself forward. So whatever I portray or show, that's what you're going to get in return. I can't expect nothing different in return if I'm not portraying it or showing it or giving it. And with that, always I was born. And I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Back in the day, you know what? You take care of the young boy. Then I took your son Buffalo, 1970. I'll go back to 69. No, you don't go at 8 o'clock. You didn't go to shut up now. You're crazy. You're pumping. You're pumping. Niggas want all of the leave. Malditos. Malditos. All these niggas want to hurry up and leave. All y'all. Everybody. Can't wait. Like in the old camp zone. He's going to leave a party. Somewhere down 8 o'clock in the mission. 9 o'clock in the morning. Because they're rocking like it's 9 o'clock in the morning, son. Now look at the people, man. Back then, everybody wore their glasses. During the week, a sister going shopping, she said, so you think it's pizza, let me bread or something. Nah, so regular day, just day. The fellas in the same day. Not today. Niggas go out there rent and look like them. Then when the Shabbat comes to find the hypocrisy, the bunch of damn hypocrites. People telling the darkness once a week, and you walk around and you're all a bunch of hypocrites, man. Hypocrites. You ain't no hypocrite, you have to rock it every day. And I like you rather than deep hypocrisy. God don't like you. Not only me, God don't like you. Stop being hypocrites. Speak bad hypocrites. Bad about hypocrites. You put your mind to your what? Live in them. Live in what? That's what the Lord. Give me a damn clothes. What was the God? Have to live in them. I said, cabrones. Cabrones. Sure, I ain't got no, that's even my teacher. I ain't your teacher. He's a teacher, not me. I have students that don't listen to me. Get the hell away. I ain't gonna keep teaching. Right. You will keep teaching, and you can then learn, and you can then take it on. Not me, I ain't got no students. You don't want to do that? Me, I'm the student. I am master. Who is my teacher? Me. Because I listen to me, and I listen to God. My woman. But she don't listen, it's pressure. She will get pressure. Me.
Down right now. Rise and face it.
Huh?
Still in Brooklyn.
They're all facts. They're all facts. They're all facts. Every Israelite they sound square. I just unless you take heed to God's commandments, you in that zone. You're in that zone. If you take heed to God's commandments, you're in the fact zone. Take heed to God's commandments, dress the way God dressed you. That's exactly. You shall be dressed. You shall be dressed. You shall be fully dressed. Skinny jeans, skinny this, skinny that. So why the hell we wear it? Why the hell we wear it? Yeah, all of them. All the Israelites do it. Not to say that. I know. No. If you take you to God's commandments, you're funny and you're kinky. You're funny and you're kinky. You're funny and you're kinky. Brad, you're done. It's up to you. All this stuff. Shabbat, go to the beach. That's why I'm not going to stay. Congregation here, y'all come, enjoy yourself, you can order down whatever, or because I know you're going to enjoy yourself with me. The opposite never go. So guess what? I'm going to let myself feel. Because my career and everything, I mean, I'm going to let myself feel. I'm going to with the white Jews. You know, they're very queer too. They're queered out. They're queered out. The whole world is queered out. But I'd rather be than those queer. They are better queer than the black queer. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But nobody can tell me now. What I said, I'm going to do now. I'm going to do that's the whole farm. Oh, how much? Shabbat. You don't come to me, Shabbat. I'll get up and dress. I walk out there with the shoe crown. This is not good.
Hello.
Israelites is a bunch of fucking Moroccan man, son. A bunch of Moroccan man. I've been down. I've been so what? Let me stay on. I've been down for years, son. And there's a bunch of Moroccan man there. but not by the whole mind. Why you dress the way you dress? The young